Battle Day 12-32-71. Good welcome, citizens. Our united efforts continue to be rewarded in the struggle for peace. Wherever there is oppression, Nod is there. Not with empty promises of propaganda, but with divination. Good evening. By permission of General Hassan himself, it is with great honor that we bring you the following live execution. One vision, one purpose. Exana?
One vision, one purpose, Maycheck.
I can tell from all the Vertcom traffic tonight that this termination is a special one.
Yes, very special. I've been told the mixture this evening is 100% toxin and no sedative. If everything goes as planned, our traitor should remain fully conscious to the painful end.
We'll keep our fingers crossed.
General Hassan has joined us.
One vision, one purpose.
The technology of peace.
Be seated. One death is not enough for Anton Slavik. For attempting to give our enemy our most vital secrets, the GDI spy should die 1,000 times. In the name of Cain! Sweet dreams, Slavik.
Dead and back, Commander. Dead and back.
Sir, it's an honor to have you back.
Traitor.
Cabal, situation?
A division of Hassan's elite guard is closing in on our position. The probability of a favorable outcome can be increased if we can return to your main base and engage the enemy as we move.
Define favorable outcome, Cabal.
They all die.
That'll do. Let's go. No man or structure stay standing.
Establishing battlefield control. Stand by.
Move it! Get back to the base!
Unit lost. Battle controls established.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Let's Play CNC Tiberian Sun. Now this time around we're starting the Nod campaign. As you can see, the first first Nod mission is pretty similar to the first GDI one, except this time around our base is actually going to be attacked. Other than that, it's pretty much identical. Build a refinery, build some light infantry, clear out the map.
Unit ready.
Yeah, nothing special here. So, anyway, chronologically the Nod campaign starts out a bit earlier than the GDI campaign, and both run kinda parallel with major events, certain major events taking place in both campaigns. However, the Nod campaign is going to be in direct contradiction to the GDI campaign. Generally, it's gonna follow the formula of whatever Nod tried to do in the GDI campaign and got stopped by McNeil. This time around, it's gonna succeed at. And as you can see, these enemies are actually clever enough to subvert our base defenses, because laser turrets, we know already, are just not very useful. So yeah, as you can see, as you could already see from the intro cutscene, this follows quite a few standard classical Nod tropes. For example, that traitors just get shot immediately. or executed on television. I don't know what's up with that. Now, here's one thing to keep in mind when playing Nod. As you could see in the GDI campaign, Nod was flagged as hostile to civilians, and the same is true for Nod in this one. So if you don't pay attention, our guys are going to be wasting time shooting these random civilians that are around the map sometimes, instead of fighting the enemy, which can be kind of annoying, but
Click on the wrench icon.
it's not too much of a problem, mainly because there aren't that many civilians.
Unit ready.
And these guys are actually the last couple guys on the map. It's kind of annoying when you clear up the map and you have to wait for these guys to spawn.
Insufficient funds. Unit ready.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Primary objective achieved.
Incoming transmission.
I have trouble.
Just tell me Slavic is dead.
Escaped.
Do you expect me to believe that?
Framing him as one of your spies was a big mistake. He has more support than we thought.
Then, cover it up and kill him before the truth comes out. And Hassan, if he gains more power, you will become useless to us. And useless things have a way of disappearing.
The result being GDI forces retreating further and losing valuable ground. In other news, Anton Slavic's body was burned in the smelting fires of an unnamed factory, as is the custom for traitors. In a related story, we were all saddened to learn that our colleague, Oksana Christos, was killed in a tunnel collapse near her home. The death was ruled accidental by authorities.
I hear you're dead, Lieutenant. Rest in peace.
The Brotherhood is in chaos. A strategic opportunity presents itself.
They're desperate for a new leader.
When we destroy the rest of Hassan's elite guard, the people will sway with us in the name of Cain.
Cain lives in death. We've reached the Benghazi border.
The elite guard division we will engage is located here, on this island.
Take the bridge out and they're cut off. The island is a tomb.
Shut down the enemy's power and protect your own.
A large force is approaching from the south. Their directive is to protect the guard, but I think they can be persuaded otherwise. Coordinates. Broadcast studio. Get me an engineer into that TV station, and I'll take care of the rest.
Control the media. Control the mind.
Let's go.
Hassan communicates to the Brotherhood through a nearby TV station. With the Brotherhood in chaos, the opportunity to divide Hassan from his followers presents itself. Capture the TV station, and those once loyal to Cain's technology of peace will return to the fold. And as for Hassan's pathetic gods, crush them. Reinforcements have arrived.
Yes, sir.
And here we are again with the first Nod base building mission.
Selected. Place the cursor over the vehicle
No.
and left-click on
Unit
it.
reporting.
You're gonna see a lot of overlap of units and buildings with GDI, obviously. The MCV is pretty much the same, or literally the same as the GDI one. Our light infantry, we didn't get to talk about in the previous mission, is exactly the same as the GDI one as well, except it has a slightly different icon. The attack buggy is essentially like the Wolverine, except it's a bit weaker but also a bit faster, which personally I prefer because I generally only use them for early scouting instead of combat anyway, so the speed helps out with that. Otherwise, once we get to the more advanced units, we're gonna see more variety, but for now, it's pretty much the same as a lot of GDI units. So, for right now, our objective is to capture this TV station here with an engineer. So, we're gonna have to go through the enemy base to do that. Basic base building is pretty much the same as GDI, so skip over it. Another difference is we have a Hand of Nod, which is Nod's equivalent of the barracks. Lets us build infantry units. Takes up slightly more space, which is, well, I guess technically worse, but not really a problem generally. And here we also get our first new unit, the rocket infantry. These guys are what Nod gets instead of disc throwers. The rocket infantry is pretty good against vehicles, not so much against buildings or infantry. So they don't. There aren't quite the all-rounders that the disc throwers are, which personally I think makes them a bit worse. The only saving grace they have is that they can attack flying units, and they also don't explode, so that's a plus. But otherwise, we probably gonna use other units for our anti-tank needs once we get them.
Low power. Building.
Ready for action. Yes, sir. Sir, ready. Yes, sir.
Construction complete.
As you can see, these rocket infantry actually tear through this harvester pretty quickly.
Yes, sir.
And of course I do my usual thing of attacking the harvester to lure the enemy out. Even though we are not going to do a frontal assault on the enemy base, it's still gonna be nice to lure out the defenders beforehand. And of course here you can see me try to be fancy and lure the enemy through the Tiberian field to let them damage it, or to let it damage them. But of course my own guys just run into the field anyway, so yeah, that's what you get for trying to be fancy.
Unit ready. Unit ready. Unit ready.
Now, one thing you might have noticed is I have two engineers. The reason for that will become apparent in a bit. Forgot what was up here on that cliff, so I checked. But there's nothing there except some decoration. So anyway, this bridge here is one of those blatant weak points in the enemy defenses. And as soon as we get there, this enemy engineer will start to plant bombs and try to blow up the bridge. It's pretty much impossible to stop him, so you need two engineers. Unfortunately, I found out that the explosion of the bridge actually does damage to units underneath it. So, I need replacements now. Those guys aren't very motivated at their job, it seems. So much for elite guard. That's always kind of fun. I always found that kind of funny. How the mission description says that these guys are elite guard, but they're actually just light infantry, same as every other light infantry in the game.
Cannot deploy here.
Also, one thing you might have noticed is our announcer voice is different this time around. That's because In the GDI campaign we had the generic electronic video assistant, or EVA for short, which is pretty much just, well, generic announcer voice. But this time around, in the NOD campaign, we're going to have our mission briefings and information relayed to us by Cabal, who actually has enough personality to qualify as his own character. Especially once you get to the expansion Firestorm, he's going to play a very large role in that. But let's not spoil that.
Building.
Yes, sir. No problem.
Unit ready.
And of course, building units instead of silos, because fuck silos.
Got it.
That's one of the really nice things about the sidebar in CNC games. You can just queue up units without having to go back to your base.
Capture the TV station.
It's such a nice thing.
Primary objective achieved. Reinforcements have arrived. Reinforcements have arrived.
Now, as you remember from the introductory cutscene, all these guys have TV screens in their helmets built in. And they're also extremely weak-willed, so as soon as we start our broadcast, they immediately turn over to us.
Yes, sir. Infantry reporting. Infantry reporting. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So yeah, now it's pretty much just a matter of cleaning up. Fortunately for us, in this mission the enemy will sell all its buildings as soon as we take out a couple of them. So all we have to deal with is a couple light infantry. Also, one thing to note, as you might have noticed, my attack buggies can't run over those sandbags. That's actually because light vehicles cannot crush things. Neither sandbags nor infantry or anything else would normally be crushable. Which is something to keep in mind. Although one interesting tidbit about attack buggies is that if they get to elite status, that is to say they get the star underneath them, they actually get the ability to crush infantry. Because apparently you need a lot of experience to be able to crush somebody with an attack buggy. Also, this slope here really bugs out path.
Unit lost. Silos needed.
It's really
Sir. Infantry reporting. Sir. Unit ready. On my way.
But regardless, this base isn't exactly heavily defended, so we can pretty much just repeat the earlier scenario, just take out 2 buildings, the enemy will sell everything it has.
Lost.
And now it's just cleaning out these light infantry.
Unit lost. Secondary objective achieved.